Once Upon a Saint presents The Bishop Who Tricked the Devil. Long ago in Swabia, a child was born with a heart like a quiet pool, reflecting the light of heaven. He was gentle and wise, his mind a garden where the seeds of the word took deep root. From his youth, he sought the stillness where the great shepherd speaks to those who listen. As he grew, the light within him shone so brightly that he was called to be a shepherd of men. Though he wore a bishop's ring and held the golden crook of Regensburg, his spirit longed for the mossy stones and the whispering pines where the world's noise could not reach. He eventually sought the wild places by Lake Abersee, dwelling in secret caves beneath the Schafberg mountain. There, the mist served as his morning cloak, and the stars as his altar candles. Yet, even in his solitude, a holy vision began to bloom, like a mountain flower within his heart. He vowed to build a house for God where the mountains meet the water. Climbing to the high summit, he raised a heavy axe toward the blue floor of heaven. "I shall build where this falls," he declared, casting the blade into the sunlit air like a silver bird in flight. Down through the winding forest paths he climbed, searching for the sign. He found the axe wedged deep in a rocky outcrop, caught between the towering peak and the shimmering lake. It was here, amidst the ferns and the ancient shadows, that the foundations of his dream would be laid. A gray wolf darted through the wood, followed by a hunter with eyes of fire. He asked them both for aid, but the wolf fled in fear, and the hunter sought only his prize. Neither would help build a sanctuary, for their hearts were bound to the chase and the shadows. Then, out of a sudden murk, a dark figure emerged, a demon, the ancient tempter. He mocked the holy man's plan, but offered his own wicked strength to build the church. The bishop, unfazed by the darkness, agreed to let the builder work, for he trusted in a higher wisdom. A heavy price was set. The first soul to cross the threshold would belong to the builder. The hermit agreed, placing the pact in the hands of the Almighty and merciful Jesus Christ. He knew that while the shadows may plan, the light always finds a way to guard the flock from the wolf. With a clang of hammers and a buzz of saws, the church rose. It was a strange and beautiful sight, filled with odd corners and crooked paths that delighted the eye. The walls were as white as winter snow, standing strong against the emerald backdrop of the alpine woods. When the work was finished, the church gleamed with Romanesque grace under the Schafberg's long shadow. The builder waited greedily at the door, his eyes fixed on the path. The hermit stood firm as he prepared to meet the fulfillment of their solemn bargain. But suddenly, a hunting horn sounded, and the gray wolf from the woods burst forth. The gray terror darted through the open doors to escape the chase, and seeing his opportunity, the saint shut the door after it. The evil builder had his prize, but it was a beast of the field rather than a child of Adam. With a roar of fury, the tempter vanished forever. He served his people until his holy death in 994, leaving behind a legacy of faith that still shimmers on the water. The broken door ring remains as a sign of his victory over the darkness. Who was this clever bishop who trusted God? He is Saint Wolfgang, the patron of the Wolfgangsee Lake in Austria. Saint Wolfgang, pray for us.